Not only did you us, you yourselves.
I can say I was a dumbass, voted for Trump. It was the worst decision I ever made.
Now that video was from 5 days ago, but today we have even more breaking news in the ongoing saga of MAGA f***ing around only to immediately find out. As more and more and more MAGA voters finally make it to the real world and immediately run to the press to rail and revolt against Trump in a bombshell new report from the Wall Street Journal today that exposes from the lips and fingers of MAGA themselves that they are feeling the pain of Trump's policies right where it hurts most, namely their wallets.
We won with poorly educated. I love the poorly educated.
And we have all the drama, details, and catharsis that you won't want to miss coming up. So smash that like button and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss out on the misadventures of MAGA. And let's dive in. Now, while Trump has been cuddling and cozying up in bed with billionaires and former Fox News hosts who I can only assume are doing some kinky three-way role-playing,
there has to be a point at which Dad comes home. You know what he says? You've been a bad girl. You've been a bad little girl and you're getting a vigorous spanking right now.
And that, as well as the immediate economic effects of Trump's anti-American antics, have caused many a MAGA to viciously and vociferously turn on their former hero who, though he's only been in office for under a month, has apparently already lived long enough to see himself become the villain.
You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
And the report, titled "The Mood of the American Consumer is Souring," features a litany of complaints from the Trump voters they interviewed, as well as the very things conservatives fear more than death itself: facts and data. Because it appears that the Trump bump in consumer confidence is already over. Tariff threats, stock market swings, and rapidly reversing executive orders are causing Americans across the political spectrum to feel considerably more pessimistic about the economy than they did before President Trump took office. Because apparently consumer sentiment fell about 5% in a preliminary survey of consumers, which is its lowest rating since July 2024. And for a guy who ran on and won on the promise to lower inflation like he had the power to do it, it's pretty bad when expectations of inflation in the year ahead jumped from 3.3% in January to 4.3% this month, being the second month in a row of large increases at the highest reading since November 2023. But here's where things get even more interesting. Quote, "I don't like the turbulence. I don't like the chaos in the market," said Paul Bisson, a 58-year-old who writes proposals for a flight safety company and co-owns a dog daycare in San Antonio. He voted for Trump, but feels, quote, his policies have led to that chaos. And this man is hoping to retire in the not too distant future, but he's worried that it won't be possible if Trump follows through with his tariff threats rather than just using them as a negotiating tactic. And he's far from the only MAGA voter feeling the burn. In our next example, a MAGA mom speaking on the Department of Government Efficiency went from telling Chuck Schumer to chill out to "Dear God, save my daughter, Donald Trump and Elon," in 3 days. February 3rd, Chuck Schumer posts, "If the Treasury Secretary does not remove Doge's access to the Treasury Department payment systems at once, Congress must act immediately. They worked on legislation, blah, 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 with Representative Jeffries." And this woman chimes in, says, "Chill out, Chucky. Everything's gonna be all right." That was on February 4th. Lo and behold, February 7th, she comes back and is replying to Elon Musk saying, "What I can't forget at the moment is Doge has left my daughter, a single mom of 2 young girls, stranded in a foreign country. She has been a competent, loyal, and exceptional employee as PEPFAR coordinator in 3 countries, not only fired, but abandoned with no resources." And for a little more context here, she also responded to Donald Trump, who posted, "US aid is driving the radical left crazy. There's nothing they can do about it because the way in which the money has been spent, so much of it fraudulently, is totally unexplainable, blah, 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 the corruption." Yeah, forgetting the fact that US aid literally is the biggest piece of soft power the US has had since post-World War II, and it just got gutted. I have tons of thoughts on that, but they're not really relevant right now. This woman then responds, "FYI, I voted for you 3 times and thought family meant something to you. Honestly, lady, I'm starting to not feel sorry for you with that one." Going on, "Doge has stranded my daughter, a PEPFAR coordinator, excelled over 7 years in 3 countries. Single mom, abandoned with no government response to questions. This is outrageous." with her finally replying to another Donald Trump rant about the Politico scandal that you may have seen, which was also total BS. Donald Trump, bring back our loved ones safely who have dedicated themselves to working abroad for the US, but now are fired and left to find a way home with no support and no one to help with a plan. Would you do this to your daughter and granddaughters, but okay for mine? Help us with this insanity. Lady, you don't want to know what Trump would do to his daughters and granddaughters.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. Perhaps I'd be dating her.
Oh, it's so weird.
And before we cap this off with Kenneth Price's statements, the guy you saw at the very beginning of the show, I want to share this image that basically says it all, right? Let's check in on Trump's cult. Muslims for Trump got Gaza eradicated.
If you don't want to vote for Jill, vote for Donald Trump. But do not give a vote to Kamala Harris and expect to be welcomed by my community.
And how did that turn out? When Jared Kushner literally told you what their plans were for Gaza,
but I'm not sure there's much left of Gaza at this point. And Gaza's waterfront property.
you still chose not to vote for Kamala. Not only did you us, you yourselves. And now we can watch America burn while Gaza gets leveled. Taking the moral high ground was stupid, and it got you this.
But the Riviera of the Middle East, this could be something that could be so bad. This could be so magnificent.
It got you nothing.
Latinos for Trump got their own families deported. Gays for Trump about to lose marriage equality. Blacks for Trump got labeled DEI and fired from their jobs. But hey, at least Elon has our social security numbers, and a dozen trans women won't be able to participate in college sports.
A CNN analysis found the 15 states that most rely on federal funding for its public schools in 2022 all voted for Trump.
And I voted for President Trump.
I mean, you're an educator. You didn't vote for Trump eliminating federal funds.
No, I did not vote for that. I voted for President Trump to make America first again.
I can say I was a dumbass, voted for Trump only because of my beliefs. People around me encouraged it. I can think for myself, yes. But I felt at the time that was the better choice. Now I'm looking at it with everything going on. It was the worst decision I ever made. I wanted not to vote. But people said you won't be able to have a say in anything if you don't vote. I totally regret this. I shouldn't have voted at all.
So at this point, it is what it is for us and MAGA, the people who put Trump in power. And unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of suffering across the board before any of this is even able to get reversed or repaired. But the silver lining is that fortunately, Trump voters are now starting to wake up and smell the roses and regret their votes. So make sure you share this video far and wide so more of them can see, and hopefully in the coming years, stop this damning Republican agenda that is at hand, and also hopefully stop Donald Trump from having a fucking third term. If you like staying informed and watching the fall of the House of MAGA, consider dropping a like on the video and subscribing to the Really American channel to join the resistance. For Really American, I'm Kenny Hesse, and I'll see you all in the next one.